The following Zoom session is being recorded and will appear later today on my YouTube channel, Math with Mayo. There are two different classes that may be observing this session. Therefore, when you participate in the Zoom meeting, if you do not wish for your picture or your name to be made public, please leave the video off and use an alias name. If you have questions during the meeting but do not wish to speak, email me at bmayo@ybcc.edu and I'll respond as soon as I can. Alrighty, so today we're going to wrap up chapter 7. Tonight's assignment is going to be 7.7 as well as the chapter review. Tomorrow we will review, and on Thursday, no class meeting, you will just take your test. Just a reminder on test taking etiquette. You are to not use your phone or communicate with anyone or look anything up on the internet. That's considered cheating. And when you're done with your test, if you want to submit the work from questions that you missed, not corrected versions of the work, but the actual work that led to the wrong answers, if you want to email that to me, I'll look and see if I can give you partial credit for something. Okay, we have a couple of questions that came in by request. And so this is from section 7.6, number 13. It says, solve the equation and check the result. Enter your answers as a comma-separated list. If there is no solution, enter no solution. All right, and the equation is as follows. 6x over x squared plus 6x plus 7 plus 7 over x plus 7 equals 1. Okay, now to find the least common denominator, we're going to factor this denominator. Let's see here. 7 and a 1. Oh, I copied the sign incorrectly. I was looking at that going, we've got an issue here. There we go. So now it's going to be plus 7 and minus 1. Okay. And this is just going to be x plus 7 still. So now our least common denominator is going to be x plus 7 times x minus 1. Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to erase this so that we have more room over here. And we're going to multiply this side by x plus 7 times x minus 1. And this side by x plus 7 times x minus 1. All right. So here distributing, we've got x plus 7 times x minus 1 times 6x over x plus 7 times x minus 1. Okay, and plus x plus 7 times x minus 1 times 7 over x plus 7 equals x plus 7 times x minus 1 times 1. All right, any questions so far? Okay, simplifying, that crosses out, that crosses out. So all we have left is 6x plus. Here, that crosses out, and we have x minus 1 times 7, which is 7x minus 7 equals, and on the right side, all of this times 1 is going to just be all of that. So I can sort of cross out the 1, and then I'm going to get what? X squared minus x plus 7x minus 7, which is x squared plus 6x minus 7. Okay. So I've got a second degree equation. Oh, I can simplify here. I can get 13x minus 7 equals x squared plus 6x minus 7. Okay. I've got a second degree equation. I want my leading coefficient to be positive. I'm going to shove everything over to the right side. So I'm going to subtract 13x and I'm going to add 7. So I'm going to get 0 equals x squared minus 7x. Yeah, that's it. 0 equals x squared minus 7x. I'm going to write that on the next page, and I'll go back for a minute. Anything you need to look at before I go on to the next page? Anybody? Okay, so here I'm going to factor out the greatest common factor. Take each factor that contains a variable, set it equal to 0, add 7 to both sides. So x is 0, x is 7. And it says to check the result. So let's go back and do that. 0 and 7. So let's rewrite the original problem, which was 6x over x squared plus 6x minus 7 plus 7 over x plus 7 equals 1. And we've got 0 and 7 to check. X is 0, x is 7. Let's put a 0 in every place x appears. 6 times 0 over 0 squared plus 6 times 0 minus 7 plus 7 over 0 plus 7 equals 1. 6 times 0 is 0. 0 squared is 0 plus 6 times 0 is 0 minus 7. So we get 0 over negative 7, which is 0. And over here we have 7 over 7, which is 1. So we get 1 equals 1. So x equals 0, checks. Are we okay with that, or did I go too fast there? We all right? Okay. Now let's go back and let's check the x equals 7. So I'm going to put 7 in the place of x. So 7, 7, 7, 7. I get 42 over 49 plus 42 minus 7 equals 7, oops, plus, not equals, 7 over 14. 42 over, let's see, 49 and 42 is 90, 91. 91 minus 7 is what? 84. 42 over 84 is a half, plus 7 over 14 is a half plus a half equals a whole, 1 equals 1. It checks. Okay? And now we're going to go on and take a look at problem number 26, and then we'll go on to the new stuff. So this is 7.6, number 26. Solve the equation and check the result. Enter your answers as a comma separated list. If there's no solution, enter no solution. Okay. So y plus 2/5 equals 2y minus 40 over 5y minus 25. Okay. So I can take the 5y minus 25 and factor out a 5 and have y minus 5. Okay. So now my LCD is 5 times y minus 5. All righty. So again, I'm going to multiply that side by 5 times y minus 5 and that side by 5 times y minus 5. Okay, distributing. Here, I'm going to get 5 times y minus 5 times y. I'm going to commute and put the y out by the 5. So 5y times y minus 5. Are you okay how I got from here to here? Any questions there? All right, good. And then plus 5 times y minus 5 times 2/5 equals 2y minus 40 over 5 times y minus 5 times 5 times y minus 5. So now going back and simplifying, let's see, this is going to be 5y squared minus 25 plus, I can take this 5 and this 5 and reduce them to 1 over 1. So then I get 2y minus 10. Over on the right side, the 5s and the y minus 5s reduced to 1 over 1. And I've got what? 2y minus 40. Combining like terms on the left side, I've got 5y squared plus 2y minus 35 equals 2y minus 40. Okay. Second degree equation, I'm going to shove everything over to the left side. So I'm going to subtract 2y from both sides and add 40 to both sides. So now I've got 5y squared plus 5 equals 0. Something just doesn't seem right. So hang on, don't panic. I'm going to pause. Okay, once again, my faithful students found my mistake. This right here should be minus 25y. Slow down, slow down. Okay, now combining like terms, we're going to get 5y squared minus 23y minus 10 equals 2y minus 40. Subtract 2y and add 40. We get 5y squared minus 25y plus 30 equals 0. Okay, I can factor out of 5 and get y squared minus, oops, slow down, minus 5y plus 6 equals 0. So that would factor into 5 times y and minus 2 minus 3. So y minus 2 equals 0, y minus 3 equals 0. Add 2 to both sides, y equals 2. Add 3 to both sides, y equals 3. There you go. I made that one little mistake and everything after that falls apart, doesn't it? Isn't math fun? Okay, so let's check our work. Let's see, 2 and 3. All right, here we go. So recopying the original problem, y plus 2/3 equals 2y minus 40 over 5y minus 25. Let's see, y equals 2, y equals 3. Let's try the 2. 2 plus 2/3 equals 2 times 2 minus 40 over 5 times 2 minus 25. 2 plus 2/3 would be 2 and 2/3, which is what, 8/3. Okay. And this is going to be 4 minus 40 over 10 minus 25, which is negative 36 over negative 15. Let's see here. I could take out a 3 and I'd have what, 12 over 5. Something's not right. So once, oh, I'm having a Monday. I'm just really having a Monday here. So that's 2 and 2/5. That's 12/5, which equals 12/5. Check. It helps if you write the problem down correctly. And y equals 3. Then, of course, when I make mistakes, then it takes extra time. So then I feel like I have to hurry to make up for the time I've wasted. And things just snowball, don't they? Does this sound like your life sometimes? All right, let's put 3 in. 3 and 2/5, 17/5. 6 minus 40 over 15 minus 25. Negative 34 over negative 10, which reduces to 17/5. And it checks. All right. And Danielle, you hopefully got my message. I responded back to you. So I will see you this afternoon, which is probably good because at the rate I'm going, it could take me all day just to get through what I'm supposed to do here. All right, let's take a look at section 7.7. First of all, I want to look at some tables, and it's actually going to take longer to write out the table than it is to complete it, but it's important to see what's going on here. Okay, so this says snow, it helps if you spell it correctly. Snowmobile. And this is a 4x4 truck. And we have rate times time equals distance. And there's an R here, and an R minus 5 here, and a 4 here, and a 3 there. Okay, it says complete the table. Consider this. If distance equals rate times time, okay, and we need to solve for time, if we divided both sides by R, wouldn't distance divided by rate equal time? You see how I did that? Not a big deal there. So now, if time equals distance divided by rate, this would be 4 over R, and this would be 3 over R minus 5. Any questions about that? Okay. Let's take a look at another table. This says city savings bank, and this says credit union. This says R. Let's see. This is 1. This is R minus 0.02. This is also a 1. This is a 50, and this is a 75. Okay, so we're using the formula I equals PRT. I is interest, P is principal, R is the annual interest rate, and time is the time in years. And we're trying to solve for P. So if I equals PRT, if we divided both sides by RT, wouldn't P equal I divided by R times T? Okay. So the P for City Savings Bank would be I, 50, divided by RT. So 1 times R, or just R. And for the credit union, it would be 75 over R minus 0.02 times 1, which is R minus 0.02. Again, we're given part of the table, asked to solve for a variable and fill it in terms of the other variables. Any questions about that? All right, we're going to come back to those in a little bit. How would you write 9% as a decimal? Do you remember? 9% is 9 per 100. Dividing by 100, you'd move the decimal point over 2 places. So 9% is 0.09. Everybody okay with that? All right. How would you write 0.035 as a percent? Well, you'd multiply it by 100% or by 1. Multiplying it by 100 moves the decimal point 2 places to the right and add a percent sign. Or you could say 9%, move it 2 places to the left and drop the percent sign. A regular number, move it 2 places to the right and add a percent sign. Okay, you remember how that works? We okay there? Any questions? All right. Now, this problem says if a number is added to the numerator of 5/7 and twice as much is subtracted from the denominator, the result is 8. Find the number. Okay, find the number. How about if we call it x, okay? If a number is added to the numerator of 5/7 and twice as much is subtracted from the denominator, the result is 8. Everybody okay with how I did that equation? All right. Well, we have an equation with a fraction. So let's clear the fraction by multiplying both sides by the LCD, which is 7 minus 2x. On the left side, the 7 minus 2x's would reduce down to 1/1, giving us 5 plus x. On the right side, distributing, we'd get 56 minus 16x. Going on, I'm going to solve for x on the left. I'm going to add 16x to both sides. 5 plus 17x equals 56. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. 17x equals 51. I'm going to divide both sides by 17, x equals 3. So find the number. The number is 3. Let's check it. What's 5 plus 3? 8. What's 7 minus 2 times 3? 7 minus 6, 1. What's 8 divided by 1? 8. So it checks. Any questions about that problem? Okay, next example. Fast cars. The top speed of a Dodge Charger SRT8 is 33 miles per hour, less than the top speed of a Chevy Corvette Z06. At their top speeds, a Corvette can travel 6 miles in the same time that a Charger can travel 5 miles. Find the top speed of each car. All right, so what's going on in this problem? We have miles per hour, which is speed. We have distance, and we have time, okay? So distance equals rate times time. That's the formula we're going to use. Okay. So we've got the Dodge Charger and the Chevy Corvette. Okay. So distance equals rate times time. The top speed of a Dodge Charger is 33 miles per hour less than the top speed of the Chevy. So the Dodge is slower than the Chevy. If the Chevy's speed is R, the Dodge's speed is 33 miles per hour less. So it'd be R minus 33. You okay with where I got that? Okay. At their top speeds, the Corvette can travel 6 miles. So that's the Chevy. Can travel 6 miles. In the same time, the Charger can travel 5 miles. So the Chevy travels 6 miles at a given rate. The Dodge travels 5 miles in a rate that's 33 miles per hour less. But it also said in the same time. So what we know already is that the times are equal. I'm just going to put a little sideways equal sign there, okay? So we know the times are equal. Now, if distance equals rate times time, dividing both sides by r, time equals distance divided by rate. So the time for the Dodge would be 5 divided by r minus 33. The time for the Chevy would be r divided by 6. But we know the times are the same. Therefore, 5 divided by r minus 33 equals r divided by 6. And there's our equation. Before I go on, again, any question about anything I did so far? All right. So now we have an equation with fractions. The LCD is going to be what? 6 times r minus 33. So we're going to multiply both sides by 6 times r minus 33. 6 times r minus 33. On the left, the r minus 33s reduce down to 1 over 1, and I'm left with 30. On the right, the 6 over 6 reduces down to 1 over 1, and I'm left with what? R squared minus 33r. Okay. I'm just having a bad day today. Hang on. I'm pretty sure it's Monday today. So subtract 30. I get 0 equals r squared minus 33r minus 30. How about, I don't think that factors. So you've got product is negative 30, sum is negative 33. So negative 30 and 1, negative, nope, I'm going to pause it again. All right, we're back in business. I found my mistake. I wrote r over 6, and it should have been 6 over r. That's all it takes. Okay, 5 over r minus 33 equals 6 over r. So now the world will know how many mistakes I make. Okay, we all right with this now? I'm surprised that one of you didn't find it, because you've been pretty good about finding my mistakes. So this is r times r minus 33, r times r minus 33. Because I'd never gotten a quadratic equation as the leading to the solution on this. Okay, those go, and I've got 5r. Those go, and I've got 6r minus 198. Subtract 6r, negative r equals negative 198. Divide by negative 1, and r equals 198. So that's 198. And r minus 33, I'm not even going to trust myself anymore. 198 minus 33 is 165. So R was the Chevy. So the Chevy, 198 miles per hour, and the Dodge, 165 miles per hour. Okay, so the process, fill in the information you know, solve for the unknown, set up an equation, and be sure to fill in your table correctly, unlike what I did. All right, everybody with me? Hopefully at this point, maybe you zoned out. Another problem, boating. A boat that travels 18 miles per hour in still water can travel 22 miles downstream in the same time as it takes to travel 14 miles upstream. Find the speed of the current in the river. Okay, so what we've got going on here, think about an escalator, okay? If you stand on an escalator, let's say you're at the bottom of an escalator and it's going up, and you stand on it and you just stand there, you travel the speed of the escalator, right? Okay, let's say the escalator goes 3 miles an hour, okay? And you stand there, you move up the escalator at 3 miles an hour. What if you walk up the escalator at 2 miles an hour? Now how fast do you go? 3 miles an hour for the escalator plus 2 miles an hour for you is 5 miles an hour. So you're adding your own speed to the escalators. Now we're at the top of the escalator. We're at the escalator that goes up, and we're standing up there, and we're going to be naughty. We're going to go down the up escalator. Okay. Now the escalator is going 3 miles an hour. If I get on it and walk down it going 2 miles an hour, what's going to happen? Am I going to be able to walk down the escalator?
No.
No, I'm going to have to go faster, aren't I? So what if I walk 4 miles an hour and the escalator is coming at me at 3 miles an hour? How fast am I going down?
1.
1, right. And I know that's kind of tricky to visualize, but my point is this. If you're going with a current, with the wind, with the escalator, it's the speed of whatever that is plus your speed. If you're going against it, it's the speed of whatever that is minus your speed. Okay, so it says a boat that travels 18 miles per hour in still water. That means without any current helping it or hurting it. It's capable of 18 miles per hour. It can travel 22 miles downstream in the same time it takes to travel 14 miles upstream. Find the speed of the current in the river. Okay, we've got miles per hour, we've got distance, and we've got time. So distance equals rate times time. Okay. All right, let's see here. It starts with downstream. So downstream, upstream. A boat that travels 18 miles an hour in still water can travel 22 miles downstream in the same time it takes to travel 14 miles upstream in the same time. So just like the last problem, our times are equal, right? Okay, now it says find the speed of the current of the river. How about if we let speed of current equal, let's go with, how about X? Okay. So what's the boat capable of by itself? It says a boat that travels 18 miles an hour in still water. So going downstream, what have you got? You've got the 18 miles an hour plus the speed of the current. Okay. Going upstream, you've got the 18 miles an hour minus the speed of the current because it's working against you. Everybody okay where I got X for 18 plus X, 18 minus X? It's the speed it's capable of. Downstream, we add the current. Upstream, we subtract the current. Okay. Now, the times are the same, and we found out from before that time equals distance divided by rate. So time equals distance divided by rate. So this is 22 over 18 plus X, and this is 14 over 18 minus X. The times are the same, so 22 over 18 plus X equals 14 over 18 minus X. Make that a little better. Okay, 22 over 18 plus X equals 14 over 18 minus X. And I believe I set it up correctly this time, hopefully. All right, so my LCD is 18 plus X, 18 minus X. So I'm going to multiply this side by 18 plus X, 18 minus X. And over here, 18 plus X, 18 minus X. On the left, the 18 plus x's cross out, and we've got, let's see, what do we got? 18 times 22, which is 396 minus 22x. Okay. On the right side, those cross out, and we've got 14 times 18 is 252 plus 14x. I'm going to solve for x on the left, so I'm going to subtract 14x from both sides. 396 minus 36x equals 252. Subtract 396 from both sides. Negative 36x equals, let's see, 252 minus 396 is negative 144. Divide both sides by negative 36, and we get 4. Okay, so the speed of the current is 4 miles per hour, which is what they wanted. Let's see if that works. If x is 4, what's 18 plus 4? That's 22. Okay. If you're going 22 miles an hour, how long would it take you to go 22 miles? It'd take 1 hour, wouldn't it? All right. Upstream, 18 minus 4 is 14. If you're going 14 miles an hour, how long would it take to go 14 miles? 1 hour. So it checks. All right. And let's see here. One more problem. This says comparing investments. An amount of money invested for 1 year in a savings account will earn $1,500. That same amount of money invested in a mini mall development will earn $6,500 interest in a year because the interest paid is 10% more than that paid by the savings account. Find the rate of interest paid by each investment. So we're talking about principal, rate, time, interest. So this is I equals PRT. Okay, so that's the formula we're going to use. Hopefully I've left enough room there. All right. Let's see, we've got a savings account and a mini mall. So savings account, mini mall. Okay. An amount of money invested for 1 year in a savings account, so time is 1 year, will earn $1,500. So that's the interest. Okay. That same amount of money invested in a mini mall will earn $6,500 in 1 year. Because the interest paid is 10% more than that paid by the savings account. So if the savings account interest rate is R, the mini mall would be R plus 10%. Or 0.10, converting that percent into a decimal. Okay, let's see if I can write that a little better. So this is R plus 0.10. Okay. What did it say about the principal? It said an amount of money is invested, blah, blah, blah. That same amount of money is in, oh, they're equal. We need to solve for P. Divide both sides by RT. So P equals I divided by RT. So P equals I, which is 1,500 divided by RT. R times 1 is R. And the second one, P is 6,500 divided by R plus 0.10 times 1, which is R plus 0.01. Since the principles are the same, our equation becomes that. Okay. This should look an awful lot like the last problem. We're going to multiply both sides times R plus 0.10, r times r plus 0.10. On the left, the r's go away, and we've got 1500 r plus 150, okay? 0.10 times 1500. On the right, the r plus 0.10s go away, and we have 6,500 r. I'm going to subtract 1500 r. 150 equals 5,000 r. Divide both sides by 5,000. R equals, if I take 150 divided by 5,000, I get 0.03, which would be what? 3%. So it says, find the rates of interest paid by each investment. The savings account, 3%. So that's the savings account. And the mini mall would be what? 3 plus 10 is 13%. All righty. So first of all, you've got to figure out which formula are you using. Are you using distance equals rate times time, or are you using I equals PRT? Set up a table, figure out what you know, figure out what you don't know. Typically, these problems have either the same time or the same principal or the same rate. That's the key to the whole thing, writing everything else in terms of those variables that are the same, and then set up your equation, solve it, bada boom, bada bing. Okay. Any questions? Well, I've survived. So I'll stop the recording.